What do you want? And I know this question might scare you because you might not know specifically what you want. But you do know that you don't want your life to be average. You do know that you want more for yourself, and that's enough. That's enough for me to know that you want to be built different. When you're built different, it means that you do things differently than the average person. And if you want your life to look different than the average person, you need to do things differently. This video is made to specifically point out what are the principles to become built different. And if you want to know what happens when you're built different, it's when you feel so confident about yourself because you trust yourself. You see yourself show up all the time. You also can handle anything that's being thrown at you because you are unshakable under pressure. And when you're built different, you have built a personal brand, basically what people think about you, where you are being respected. And when you have respect, that lasts, that opens doors, that creates opportunities, that makes you influential and powerful. And when you're built different, it doesn't mean that you're fearless, but it just means that fear won't stop you. And a lot of times, the reason why you're not where you want to be right now is literally fear. But I'm going to give you 7 principles that you need to apply in your life, things that you can do that will make you built different. I'm passionate about this because that's what I want from my life. If you don't know me, my name is Bianca St. George and I'm a professional soccer player. But I create a self-improvement community online because I'm trying to challenge each and every one of us that knows we have more potential to give, to get out of our comfort zone and reach that potential. You become built different once you do things differently. And I challenge you to do things differently. And if you want to take on that challenge, do these 7 things, okay? Number 1, you need to put discipline over ease and comfort. And I know that you've probably heard this a million times before, but not because you've heard it so many times means it's less true. Discipline needs to be your priority in your life. It basically means that you need to do what's right, not what's easy. Right now, you're average because you do the comfortable things that are easy. Nobody really chooses to do the hard things. But the thing that you have to realize is the hard things are not actually that big. The hard things are actually really small habits that are almost just as easy to do. Like read 10 pages of a book. You can do that. Journal for 5 minutes. You can do that. Meditate for 2 minutes. You can do that. But they're also easy not to do. That's why you need discipline, because you need to do it regardless. You need to do it because it's the right thing to do. And those things are so easy to do that it's almost easy not to do. And that's why it makes it so hard to do it. So don't take the path of least resistance. Don't try to find quick fixes or shortcuts or the comfortable options. You need to flip the script. You need to start telling yourself, I'll do what's right, not what's easy. I'll choose the long-term gain over short-term relief. I'll show up even when I don't feel like it, especially when I don't feel like it. That's what makes you built different. You're not being ruled by how you feel. You're ruled by your standards, and your standard is excellence. If you want to be thriving for excellence, you have to be disciplined. Excellence is in my blood because I'm a professional athlete. You think I got there by doing what's comfortable? There are no shortcuts to your dreams. You have to understand that you need discipline. So no matter what excuses that come to your brain right now, just know that if you listen to that, you're going to let the lizard brain win and you will remain average. But if that's not what you want, you got to do things differently. The second thing is invest in deep reflection. This is one of my biggest breakthroughs this year. Growth doesn't happen in noise. And right now you need to grow as a person because the version of yourself right now is not living to the standard of the person that you want to be. And also, your reality reflects the person that you are right now. So if right now you're living at a low vibrancy, you're not being disciplined, you're doing what's comfortable, obviously your reality will reflect that. But if you want your reality to change, you need to grow and evolve as a person. And growth happens in silence. You need to create time for you to reflect, to question, to listen to your gut, to the Holy Spirit, to your inner guidance, your inner voice. You need to spend time in deep reflection and remove all distractions that are flooding your brain with overload of information. You need to stop letting the external world influence you. Every time I spend time on social media, Every time I'm trying to look at other YouTube channels to see what I can get inspired from, it always makes me feel worse. It always makes me feel so confused and lost and unclear about what my mission is. You already have all the answers. When I step away from that and I just focus on what I care about and what I know and how I want to impact the world, being authentically me, that's when I produce the best work. That's when I feel like I'm not acting inauthentically. The inspiration comes from me, not looking at what other people are doing, not doing research, not trying to figure out the strategy. It's by sitting with myself, by journaling, by reflecting on my experiences, by looking at my patterns, by looking at my learnings from the day. I just had a one-on-one session, coaching session with someone, and they told me that one of the videos that inspired them the most was when I posted a video about me and my breakup. And it's so funny because that video was totally unplanned. All I did was, when I got broken up with, the same night I journaled in my journal and I wrote down my lessons and how I was going to move on from that breakup. The next day I posted a video about it. I didn't plan, I didn't overanalyze it. I didn't try to make this huge script. I didn't go online and try to look at what other people were doing and copying how they did their breakup videos. I just spoke from my heart, from my experiences, by being purely present. That's what made me grow as a person. That's what makes me change. That's what makes me change my standards as well. And that's what made me connect with others the best, because it was so authentic. So that goes to show that deep reflection, spending time with yourself, is what you need to do to be built different, because you get to see clearly what you are going through and you don't start getting influenced by all the other external influences that are out there, that are literally there to rob you from your focus, rob you from your dreams, and rob you from being the person that you want to become. There are 3 ways that I can think about how to reflect deeply. 1, you can sit with yourself and just think. But that for me is really hard. I have a hard time thinking because I feel like it's kind of abstract. It's all over the place. So the second thing I'd suggest is to journal. And if you journal, you can get yourself to put everything on paper and see exactly what's going on through your mind. And then the third way, which I find the most efficient, even though I love journaling and I do this so much, but it's praying. It's talking to God. And if you don't believe in God, just think about speaking to a powerful entity, a powerful force that knows you from in and out. Just imagine higher power that knows all your insecurities, all your fears, all your doubts, what you want in life, what you're ashamed of. They know everything about you, so you cannot hide. And when you speak to them, you're able to speak the truth. And it feels like you're being listened because it's this higher power that you can't even comprehend. It's just something so big and beyond you that loves you, that has your back, that created you. They are there to listen. And if you speak to them, you will speak from your truth because there's no point of lying. They know you better than you know yourself. And that allows you to grow because you break your cycles that you don't want to repeat. You realign your actions with your values. You grow into self-awareness, which is where every choices are made and every choice dictates your future. So see, deep reflection is necessary for you to escape mediocrity. Now, the third thing to do, the third principle to become built different is to know your values and honor them. The second part, honor them, is so important because a lot of people think they know their values, yet they don't follow through. That's the worst thing you can do because, like I said, being built different raises your confidence. It makes you trust yourself because you show up authentically. You show up as the best version of yourself, which is your authentic you, okay? The version that you're not proud of right now is not really you. It's the you that's being imprinted from other people, from your trauma, from your past, from your insecurities. That's not you. That's your ego. It actually doesn't even exist. But the real version of you is the highest version of yourself, and it's already within you. And if you really want to tap into that version of yourself, it's by knowing and respecting your values, to align your actions to reflect what you care about. So a lot of people are feeling really horrible because they are just lost in life. They don't have clarity. They feel stuck. And the reason why is because what matters the most to them is not actually honored. You don't need to have a perfect plan to do something. You just need to know what you truly care about and make sure you align what you do with what you care about. So when you know your values, you just know where to invest your energy and how to build your life. Just trust that. Values are not just like these posters on a wall that you have in your meetings or at school or on your team. It's non-negotiables that you refuse to betray because they define who you are. Think about a relationship, and if you feel betrayed by this relationship, you don't trust them, you don't want to be around them, and it just doesn't feel good to be betrayed by a friend. When you betray yourself by not following through your values, what you care about, what's true to you, no wonder why you feel so shitty. No wonder why you feel lost and insecure and have fears. It's because you're not living in alignment. So values can be a range of things like courage, integrity, excellence, honesty, whatever it is. I'm not the one that's going to tell you what it is. However, there is a discovery I made recently from this woman. She might be a doctor, Susie Welsh. And she has a very specific list of values that are universal, okay? They are like the true values of the world in her research. I will put down her quiz in the description so you can take it and figure that out for yourself. It's not the typical values that you see, like I said, the excellence, the honesty, the integrity. It's not that typical type of list. It's a little bit more in depth and specific. So if you're like me, I love quizzes. I think you should do it and see where it takes you, because what you might think your values are might be a little bit different. And I think that quiz can help you figure that out. Hey, I'm sorry to disrupt your video flow, but I have to tell you about the challenge we're doing right now. It's called the Dopamine Detox Challenge, and it starts October 20th, but you can join in at any time, so it's not too late. If you've been listening to this video so far, I know you're invested in your self-improvement, so why not challenge yourself to better habits? If you struggle with focus, energy, motivation, this detox will help you reset your brain. We're cutting out cheap dopamine like junk food, social media, distractions, and replacing it with high quality dopamine that rebuilds your discipline, rebuilds your confidence, and rebuilds your drive from the inside out. In the first link in my description is where you can register for the challenge, and inside of it, you'll access the free course, worksheets, habit trackers, and the community. You can also watch the full video breakdown right here with all the details, and it's also going to be linked in my description. Now, don't just talk about changing your life, prove it. This is the time to become built different. Now back to the video. Now the fourth thing, if you want to be built different, you need to be patient, and you need to let time be your best friend, your best ally, because built different people don't expect to get results right away. You know what the average person wants? Instant gratification. They think that if they want something, they should have it. But being built different means knowing that things take time, especially big things, especially big dreams like you have. Like maybe you don't really know what you want specifically, but you have a big vision of what your life looks like in your dreams. And I'm sure that it's not something really, really small and plain small. It's something pretty big. And if you want something big, it's going to take time. So you need to understand that patience is actually your best friend. Because if you're being disciplined, if you follow through what you say and you respect your values, if you spend time with deep reflection and keep growing as a person, it's only a matter of time before life rewards you. People that are built different understand that everything meaningful takes time. And while others quit when they don't see results, the people that are built different, they just trust the process. And if you want to trust the process, I have a video on that actually on my YouTube channel. But when you live in alignment, when you're being fulfilled and proud and disciplined about what you do, when you live by those principles I've already talked about, you give yourself the chance to trust the process. The magic doesn't happen by big events. It happens by small choices that you make every single day. And patience will also reinforce the principles, because being patient requires a lot of discipline. It's not easy to be patient. It's one of the hardest things I feel like is in my life, because I know the amount of work I put in. I know the amount of time and energy I put into growing as a person, that I want to see results. But every time it takes more time than I think it does, I just tell myself it's because the results are even bigger. Being patient makes you so much stronger, because when things don't go your way, you still stick with it. And because you're patient, it makes you more resilient. When things don't go your way and you're a little bit disappointed and you're being thrown a curveball or you're having a failure, you tell yourself, I'm being patient, because that's what it means to be built different. It's to know that things take time. We all have heard of the compound effect. The compound effect is at the short scale, you won't see a difference, but at the big scale, you will see an exponential growth. That's why you need to let time do its magic, okay? Patience is how you earn things that last. If things came easily, they can also leave pretty easily. But the time it will take for you to build your confidence, to build your business, to master a skill, to transform as a person, because it takes a lot of time, it will also be very solid and unshakable. It's something that will last forever. There's no wonder why the people that win the lottery and make tons of money instantly almost lose it immediately after. Because to have wealth, you need to have the skills to build wealth and keep your wealth. And those people that usually win the lottery are not people that are financially literate. They don't have the strategies to manage their finance, because if they already did, they would already have had money, and they wouldn't be the type of people that would buy lottery tickets. But because they don't have that mindset, they self-sabotage. So if you want to stop self-sabotaging, you have to understand that things will take time, and you cannot quit just because you don't see results yet. You have to trust the process. Why do you think I'm not quitting my YouTube channel? Even though my numbers are not really great, it's because I'm trusting the process. I'm in it for the long run, and I choose to be patient. Now, the fifth thing that you need to live by as a principle to become built different is that you need to give more than you take. I know that you want to probably take things in life because we're all pretty selfish as people. Like, we always think, what's in it for me? But you need to train your brain to think differently, because you'll realize that once you start pouring into helping other people improve their lives, it actually makes your life better. It actually makes you way more fulfilled. Every time I operate from a place of selfishness, I never feel good about myself. But every time I focus my energy into helping you, into helping my community, into helping the future generations, that always makes me feel fulfilled. You need to focus on what you can give to the world. And you have to understand this paradox that the more that you give, the more that you get, the more that you grow. So don't feel like you are losing by giving. When you give so much, you tell your brain a different story. You tell your brain that you have an abundance mindset, that you don't feel like you giving your time, money, effort, energy to other people will take away what you're going to get back. When you do those actions, you start trusting that it's an investment. It's funny how it works, because it's kind of like how the people that start giving more to charity actually increase their salary. I don't know where I saw that, but it's almost because it's working in your abundance mindset. The more you give, the more you get. And what does it look like to give yourself to others? Personally, I think there's one best way to go about it. It's by building your personal brand online. So where do you want to show up online to impact other people's lives? It's really hard nowadays to impact people's lives by going in person, because you're kind of like starting at the bottom of the race when you do that, since everybody's using social media as a leverage. It's such a powerful tool. So you need to be strategic about how you show up online. You need to shift your perspective. Instead of being a consumer, you need to be a producer. And when you are showing up online and giving to other people, give solutions, give insights, give your vulnerability away to them, like connect with other people, because you deeply connecting to others, trying to help solve problems, and giving insights that aren't necessarily achieved by typical information is a gift to the world. And you have no idea how you can impact someone else. I have no idea how that happens for me. Like, sometimes I say things that feel so obvious to me or so normal to me because it's my life, and other people are like, wow, this totally changed my life. You have no idea how much you can impact others. So when you give more, when you give your time, focus, energy, you're constantly just stretching yourself. It's uncomfortable, but that's exactly what develops self-mastery. And when you know how to master yourself, that's when your outside world will match the level of consciousness, of wisdom, of impact that you have. And you know the quote, like, be the change you want to see in the world. I know there's a lot of changes and a lot of problems, but if you really want to make an impact, it's that simple. Think about what you care about and just try to solve that problem. Don't try to solve the whole world. Go one thing at a time. And usually it's a reflection of your own experiences. So think about something that's happened in your life, how you navigated through that, how you overcame that, or maybe currently overcoming that, and try to voice to others your strategies to see how you can help them. Principle number 6 is taking full responsibility. And I know that blame is easy, because everybody wants to avoid the shame, the guilt, the discomfort of feeling like you weren't perfect, that you actually made mistakes and messed up. And ownership has become so rare nowadays, but that's why most people are average, because most people don't choose to take full ownership of their life. When you're being built different, it basically means that you refuse to outsource responsibility to their personal lives. You need to take full radical responsibility to your life situation right now. And if you want to do that, you need to constantly problem solve and audit your habits, your environments, how you spend your time, your mindset, your goals. You need to be, again, deeply introspective and have reflections, but understand that you have full control on how you respond to that. When you are taking full responsibility, it doesn't mean that it's you to blame. It simply means that you are not going to beat yourself up for it, but you're choosing to respond with integrity. You're choosing to respond because you're capable of controlling your response. Think about the word responsibility. Responsibility, your ability to respond. That's it. Don't go down a spiral thinking that, oh, well, they cheated on me, so I'm not responsible for that. No, you're actually responsible for being cheated on. And I'm saying that because I was cheated on. And the reason why I say you need to take full responsibility is that, first of all, our relationship is two ways. And if you don't take responsibility for being cheated on, you won't be able to avoid the pattern in the future. For example, I was like, okay, I was cheated on, also responsible of this situation because I did not listen to my intuition when I needed to. I didn't voice my concern when I needed to. And when I did voice some concerns at some point, I did not see the signs, because they were there, that they weren't being truthful. I knew in my gut that something was wrong, and I still didn't listen to that. That's me taking responsibility in the cheating situation. I also feel like I could have communicated better. I could have invested better in the relationship to know if they were really meant for me. There was a lot of things that I've learned by taking full responsibility of why this person cheated on me. I'm not saying that I'm the reason they cheated. I'm just saying that I also played a role and I can also grow from this. So now in the future, I can set a different standard. I can have more self-respect. I can listen to my intuition better. I can feel more comfortable voicing my concerns. And if I don't feel comfortable in a situation, I don't have to stay. I will know when to leave. There's so much that you can learn and grow from taking full responsibility. But when you start blaming to other people, it's like you're giving your power away. So yeah, after I got cheated on, I wasn't saying that it was my fault, but I'm saying that I refused to let myself be powerless over this whole situation. There's a lot of power that I can take back, and you take your power back once you learn from your mistakes. Now, the last and final principle number 7, is to act before you feel ready. The truth is, you'll never feel fully ready to do anything. But if you wait for the perfect timing, you will wait forever. You figure out things as you go. Something that I've read in a book recently is the point of a plan is not to get you there, it's just to get you started. So when you have a plan to do something and you're waiting to feel ready, you're never going to feel ready, okay? You just got to start. You don't have to plan from A to Z how it's going to unfold, because life is so unpredictable. You just need to learn along the way. But the most important thing is that you get started. And if you want to be built different, it means that you need to make moves regardless of how you feel. You need to move with courage, with boldness, with faith that you will figure it out along the way. You need to have that unshakable belief about yourself, about what you can reach for yourself. You need to truly believe that you can have that life that you want. And when you truly believe that, you can start acting because you're like, okay, I'm going to figure it out. You don't fear failure because failure teaches you. What you fear most is staying exactly the same next year. I hate that feeling because there's a lot of things that I figure out in my life that I'm like, okay, I've been wanting to fix this problem for over a year, but wanting to fix is not the same thing as actually fixing it. It's like there's no such thing as trying to do something. You either do it or you don't do it. Trying isn't in my vocabulary anymore. It's either I do or I don't do. Everything you do is a choice that you make. That goes into taking responsibility of your life. You're able to make a choice in every single moment. Now, you might be like, well, I'm not really confident to get started. You have to understand that confidence is a byproduct of action. It's not a prerequisite. It's kind of like in physics when you hear that objects in motion stay in motion. So right now, if you're not doing anything, you're going to stay stagnant. But if you start something and you get yourself going, things are going to keep going and it's going to unfold naturally, but you just can't stop. The clarity will come from taking action, not from planning, okay? Just trust that. And you need to have courage over certainty. Every small things that you do is an act of courage, and every small things that you do actually counts. Now, let me finish this video by saying that being built different is something that you earn. It's something that is deserved, and you already deserve the life that you want, but you still have to go out there and get it for yourself. Your internal world knows that you're meant for that. Now go out there and prove it. And being built different isn't about being better than other people. You're actually going to elevate other people by you becoming built different. Trust me about that. Like, this is what's going on in my life. Like, I'm acting on a higher level, and it's raising you to act on a higher level. I'm doing this with you. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. So it's not about you separating yourself from others and thinking you're different in the way where you don't want to connect with other people. It's actually the opposite. You becoming built different makes people want to level up and stay more connected. I want you to choose being built different over staying average, because I know that you want that for yourself. And it's all about being better than who you were yesterday. So choose discipline, choose reflection, choose patience, choose values, generosity, responsibility, and courage for you to become built different. That's how you earn the name. Now, thank you so much for listening and having your interest in personal growth. If you want to be surrounded by like-minded people like me, like you, it's the first link in my description. And again, if you want to take that quiz, I will put that link also in the description, the quiz about the values. I love you so much, and I will see you very soon in a new video. Mwah.